Hello, welcome to Civilization Started. Well, yeah, you know the drill. What if civilization started over? Um, this is like the fourth time I've tried to do it. Um, but this time I'm not gonna give up on it. But I have a new kind of gimmick to choose where we start. So this is gonna pick a continent, and then this other wheel is going to pick the directions. So north, you know, you know, never eat soggy waffles, northeast, south, west, and then everything in between. So let's get started. And there's no taking back. It's just whatever I land on is whatever I gotta do. Maybe not Antarctica. I kind of forgot that this was on there, so we're not doing Antarctica. I didn't make this wheel, so. All right. Not very many people do Oceania. I think that's for a reason, because it's a very boring place, but at least to start a civilization. But looks like we're going east. All right. So Oceania to the east. Tough. All right, so we're going to see the first parts of civilization establish themselves in the very east of Australia. I know technically the east of Oceania, because it, and you guys can argue with me if you want. In my opinion, not that, like this is all Oceania. The map cuts off right there. But yeah, this is all Oceania. This, everything up here, the Philippines, all that, that's Asian. I don't think that Oceania is just like that or that. That's kind of stupid. I feel like that's a little too small. I feel like this is about good enough, because it's like the size of like the Middle East inland or something. I don't know. Enough yapping. These guys figure out boats technology. Like we're skipping ahead quite a bit, but they're inventing the wheel. They're doing all that fancy stuff that Mesopotamia did. Hold up, I'm gonna actually research the geography of Australia real quick. All right, so basically where we started. Hold up, let me check. Look, so it's like this kind of pointy bit, kind of an island on the east side. Here it is, right there. Does that look like a good place? It's got a mound. It's pretty mountainous right here. So maybe I'll just kind of make them slither up and around this, then claim that because they went all around it. But they're not going to go down here for a while because they can't move through this yet. Australia is not a very good place to start, especially if they were right there. This place would be horrible to start civilization. And this, like just all of this center bit, it would suck. But like, yeah. So it's subtropical, so not too bad of a climate. But I was just making sure that they actually can live there. Also, I think I made them go through the mountains and stuff, so ain't gonna pay too much attention to geography, I guess, but just a little. But yeah, they're going to expand up the coast, and they're getting kind of advanced now. Now they're going to stop doing that, and instead they're going to start exploring stuff before they just look at it and take it. They're going to examine their surroundings to make sure that there's nothing that will kill them, because they found some very weird animals here that almost killed them. And just because I'm super cool, I'm going to make another civilization down in the south, because I feel like this would be a very nice place to have a country. And, well, they're very advanced right off the bat. Not really, they're just, they started a little bit after these guys, and they're advancing slower. But I just didn't do them at the same time, you know? So, this is the world so far. Pretty lame, not gonna lie. These guys have access to a very long river, which they will be using. These guys don't have access to anything right now. This right here is kind of mountainous, so they're kind of avoiding it because it gets more, it's mountainous a little bit right here, and it gets more mountainous down here. It's like a few big hills, which actually, I'm pretty sure that's where this river ends up, is in the mountains. Or it's from the mountains, it goes down, and then goes into the ocean. You know? But now, they're, these guys are going to start exploring. Oh, I just got a notification. They're going to explore up the river, as I was saying, and they're going to find lots of fish, and they're going to decide we have this, which is kind of salty, and this, which is more clear, and lots of fish. So we're going to make fishing our thing. We're good at fishing. We were raised to fish by our parents. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to fish. So they continue exploring like this, and then they're going to make a land claim real quick. All right, so this is going to look a little funky because the river is the same color as, well, not the same, but it's very similar color to these guys. But it does have the white around it, so that does make it a little bit easier. But just know that that is a river, and it's nothing else. But as you can see, they've made sure to claim land more around the river. This side of the river is slightly more fertile than this side, because they're also trying out farming and stuff. These guys are mainly just farmers, doing a little bit of fishing. These guys are doing a lot of fishing and a decent amount of farming. I had to real quick pick up a call, so I don't remember what I was doing. Let's just do these guys, like expand them, you know? So, of course, they're going to explore first. What the heck type of layer am I on? Oh. And then, yeah, they're just going to slither up, keep doing what they've been doing. And eventually, they're like going outward, you know? But there are people who see the mountains, and they want to know what's over the mountains and stuff because they can't see over it. And the government says, no, we're not going over there anytime soon because something to do with like their religion says that those mountains are dangerous, and over the other side is a horrible place. In reality, it's just a normal temperate climate similar to this. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, look. Temperate climate. I think they're like right there. So they're entering. No, they're not even. They're close. But like this is the beginnings of the temperate, and then the rest of it is temperate. But basically, yeah, this is what the country looks like now. It kind of looks stupid, but whatever. But these people are going to go ahead and leave they're just going to go straight through the mountains. It's actually a pretty large group of people, but only, okay, let's say it's a group of like 130 people. There are 80 people left. That's how like severely dangerous it was for them to go through those mountains. Not because the mountains are dangerous themselves, it's just they're underprepared for what's in the mountains. And a few of them are dying on their way over here. And I forgot to mention, they're actually going to document their thing, and some of them are going to go back. And those people are changing their mind, going back, almost dying in the mountains, and then they're just showing what they mapped to the country that they belong to, and then they're going to jail because they decided to leave and break the rules. But there's an establishment of their area. They like this place. It's definitely a lot colder than, where they came from, but they actually like it. They're going to go ahead and look like this. Again, they kind of look a little bit dumb, just a little bit, but it's fine. But now the map looks like this, and they've become sophisticated. So now they're going to establish themselves some capital cities, like the posh countries they are. These guys started right here, right? Just do that, because it's a very good place to be, because people will like go in to the docks and trade, and then go out. I mean, they're not going to do that right now because they can't even sail like this far out. They can sail this far out of the ocean, and that's it. But these guys are going to start their capital right there. All right, and then I'm going to actually make them like full-on capitals, like that. Good. All right. These guys don't have a capital yet because there are only like 80 people right now. Because like in reality, only this part of people is populated. The rest of it is kind of like some people went out there and gathered some stuff, but there's like nobody living there. These two know of each other, but this one does not know of these two, and vice versa. But they are going to do... Oh, this is the wrong layer yet again. Oh, wait, did I... Huh, what the heck? All right, well, that's the wrong thing. The blue fishing team, I guess, the fishers country, they are going to do a mass exploration of their nearby area because they kind of boomed in economy. So now they're like doing really good. They're discovering down the river, and then they find it split down into two. So they kind of start thinking that they come up with mythological explanations to why the river does that in their religion. You guys could come up with that explanation yourself. I am too lazy right now. But again, they're doing like really good. Like their economy just blasted. So now they're like this. I actually forgot. They kind of explore more into this lake, and then they explored this lake as well, because they're lakes and they're very cool and they're very useful for fishing and stuff. It's more going to be like outskirt fishing because they don't have that claimed yet, and they won't for a little bit. All right, here it is. They're kind of pointing a little bit towards that and pointing, well, like going over the river again. But why are they expanding so much? Well, because their economy boomed, and with economy means people can have more children, and more children means more population. And those kids finally grew up, so now they need places to live. So now they have this. And they're actually going to get a second major city because they have advanced that much farther than the red team. They're going to be right there. That is so cool. But that did take a while for them. So in the meantime, while all that was happening, the red team is actually going to explore a lot as well, just not as much. But, you know, they're going to keep on going up and up and up, and then they're going to start going out like this. They kind of look like China, if you think about it like this part. Kind of looks like China, but also not at all. Like, not at all, at all. They're going to continue down and kind of discover the mountains, even though that was against their beliefs. But they found out that it is very much true that the mountains, there's nothing wrong with the mountains. So they kind of just rewrite their religion in that area. All right, the borders are going to upgrade to this. Now they might be bigger than these guys, but also not as influential. However, they are about to be even more. Because right after they do all of this, the green team is doing stuff down there. I'll get to that later. But they make a second a second major city, and then they make a third major city. They're doing a lot. We're going to see the green team gets their own little capital, and they've explored a lot. And their population did the same thing as everybody else. It kind of just randomly exploded. They're more of a democratic country, I guess. They're slightly more. So it's still a monarchy like this. This, I don't know, probably has like 3 leaders and stuff. So, like, is that called a triarchy or something? I can't remember. But basically, this country is run by one king, but he does a lot of, like, polls and elections for opinions by his citizens, so he can get their nice opinion, you know. Very, very cool. But now they look like this. They're just a bigger version of what they were before. And then they're also going to do a exploration campaign with the red team to kind of fill this in. And they successfully do that. And then they're going to do another exploration campaign to go down the west coast. Well, this is not the west coast. This is the south coast, but, you know, going down the south coast to the west. And these guys are going to the east because they're exploring as well. They're hungry for more land because the people need more room again. Which soon they're actually going to get a lot more major cities because they're going to absolutely boom in population as soon as this event happens. These do meet each other, and they actually, instead of fighting each other, they don't understand each other at all, obviously. However, they kind of get scared and almost fight each other, but then they make peace by giving each other stuff, and then they both go back and take home their stuff, and then they deconstruct it and de-engineer it, like the re-engineering stuff, and then now they have that technology. These guys didn't have, like, they didn't have the type of swords. They didn't have really good melee stuff, mainly because they didn't really need to fight anybody. Like, there wasn't a threat of fighting anybody. They're a generally peaceful country. These guys have a lot more stuff for their military, which is pretty cool. And these guys don't really have boats. They fish along the shore. These guys engineered an ability to fish with boats so that they could fish all the way. Like their fishing range is like that, so they can fish all of that, which is very nice for them. Makes it very easy. Sorry for so many freaking notifications. My friends are constantly texting and yapping about the most stupid things you can ever imagine. I don't know why I undid this, but yeah, they met each other and, did all that. However, the green team is not going to tell the red team because they're scared what the red team will do, because they're a lot more of a unstable and aggressive country. But the blue team is going to continue exploring their surrounding area, going up the coast, finding some new plants and animals and stuff as they go along. They're exploring the rest of these lakes and stuff, the area around the lakes, and then they're also going to do this. Let's check if they... No, they're just kind of following along the river again. These guys are going to explore the river. And this river. The river people. Now, we're going to see 1, 2, not that. What the frick was that? 2, 3 new major cities. I'm telling you, like, these guys are developing really fast. And then there's a third one being constructed right there, but it's not ready yet. And when I mean constructed, I mean like that city is building up and is going to be a really big city soon. And obviously, it's a population boom. Like, there's a lot of more population, and also there are some people from the green country that are moving over to here. Not too many, but these guys have access to the river as well, so they're learning the fishing is a little bit better. Is a mountain right here, so they kind of have to go down here, which they only own a little bit of. But we're going to see the blue team expand because they need more stuff. They need more materials, and they need more population space. Because, like, obviously, they own a lot of space already, but it's pretty populated in those areas. It's mainly materials that they need, not as much the population as it used to be their last expansion, but still a little bit, They're gonna, nope, not that. They're gonna take all of this. They're like cutting through right here, and right here they're cutting into the rivers and stuff. They're also going to take like that, so they're nice and curvy and nice looking. Pause. This video is getting really long. I'm sorry for that. We're gonna do one more thing, and that's it's pretty interesting. We're gonna have to turn the water layer back on. But these guys, they're going to explore down the river because they're like, we need more of this fish stuff. It tastes good. It's also really good. These guys are meeting each other and trying to learn each other's language, and they kind of just explore this river, find this river here, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's another river. But then they connect up with these guys, so they found out that this river is connected to this big river that is basically the center of the country, other than this part. And then they're going to go up. These guys are going to go down, and they're going to meet each other again. And this time, they're actually they can partially understand each other's language. So that's actually really nice. And they also learned how to like communicate with pictures and stuff and symbols. So these two are communicating and they're connected. But the red team has no idea about this. They are looking at this river with this mountain and stuff. they're like, oh my gosh, the river connects down. So they're going to begin a voyage. Not a voyage, but they're going to start exploring down the river a lot. Oh, crap. And then these guys are going to start exploring up. And yeah, basically, you could probably figure out what's going to happen. But that will be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. This was a pretty fun WICSO for me to record. This was a lot more fun than the other times I recorded WICSO. So, thank you for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I don't know. See you later. Drink some water.